Hello, everybody. This is your captain speaking. Rafael Chacín nos no es el Capitán Rafucho. Welcome to the venture. And man, what a great victory about Sunday. Las Vegas Raiders versus New York Giants. We made a statement. And yes, that's right. We just proved to the world that we are not the laughing stock, that we are not the losers. We're not going to tank in a quarterback or anything else. And we don't have loser mentality because this is about the Raiders culture. And then we are ready to war. We are ready to war because this is right here. This is the moment that we're waiting for years, for decades, all these stuffs like that. And I guarantee this is only the beginning of the new era with the Raiders, with the new coach, Antonio Pierce. I mean, we just brought a lot of great things, a great energy to embrace the whole football. And I know this is going to be like something excited, but this is something that the Raider fans are waiting for years, for decades, because they just threw away the Patriot way with Josh McDaniels, everything. But I got to say this, folks. This is an extraordinary moment that we'll never forget. And of course, we got everything on backstage. You might know for the Radio Nation Live, and he's one of my big brothers. And I know that I supported him since day one. And he got this whole energy and he got something ready because right now we're trying to talk about between the Raiders versus Jets on Sunday Night Football. And I had the pleasure to meet and introduce himself. So this man needs no introduction. So here it is, folks. Raider Gabe, how's it going?
How's it going, Rafa? How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Sure.
It's been like a great feeling right now. So right now, let's start with the first topic right now. So we just know that Antonio Pierce is the interim head coach of the Raiders. And right now, we just embrace for the victory and, of course, for the new energy. So it might be noted because right now there is no Patriot way, there is no Josh McDaniels, there is no Dave Ziegler, and we just put Jimmy Garoppolo to the bench, and Aidan O Connell just made superior. So I got to show the bit about the conference, the press conference about what he told Antonio Pierce after the victory against the New York Giants. So you got to listen well.
But the mindset is there, is to win, is to be aggressive, is attack. I mean, you saw what we did last night, or excuse me, 2 nights ago, and then that's not going to change. You know, Bo has my full support, Champ Kelly's full support, and the team has really rallied behind his philosophy and what he wants to do going.
Yep, playing much aggressive, playing more intense. I mean, this is the mindset of Antonio Pierce became for the full new era out of this Raiders generation because there's no Patriot way, there's no tanking season because it's all about the Raiders way. Like we grew it up in Oakland, California, and that was feeling so good. It's just like a sense of fresh air, and we just embraced the whole football inside. So, how's everybody going? Because give your thoughts about what Antonio Pierce became a leader of men of this new generation Raiders.
Yes, sir. What was the question?
The question is, what are your thoughts about how became Antonio Pierce like a leader of men to embrace the whole football during for that game after New York Giants?
So like pretty much I just think he's the perfect leader for these guys right now. Right now, that's kind of like what they need. You know what I mean? That type of energy, especially coming off of McDaniels. You know what I mean? McDaniels was that other type of a guy who wouldn't. It's kind of obvious now that McDaniels was the guy that kind of a no mess around type of guy in the locker room and stuff like that. A guy that was just about the football side and aspect side, and I don't think he was too much deep into like trying to get to know these players. You know what I mean? And I think the just the energy that Antonio Pierce and everything, and just that the news that people, that guys in this locker room wanted him, as the coach. You know what I mean? So I think that comes a long way because it proves that they have respect for this guy. You know what I mean? And I think he can be the guy. You know what I mean? If we can continue this this energy surge and just kind of like almost mirror the our 2021 season where we go on this kind of run, kind of like in spite of the last regime and just kind of in spite of always being the laughing stock and just take pride in just finishing off the season strong and trying to make a run at this, man, and giving AP a good shot to get the job in the off season.
Yeah, that's exactly because that feeling that Antonio Pierce became one of those great examples. And for that game between Las Vegas Raiders versus New York Giants, it made just like a statement. And of course, I got another guy in backstage. You might know for the Raider Nation Live, but you guys know it. And this is one of those guys that I always support since day one. And let's give it a round of applause for the man, the legend, the myth. Here it is, folks. Mr.
What
Dirty
the
Lou.
hell?
Oh, what's up? Who's that? Is that
Damn, I
Gabe?
thought I got away from you, dog.
Yeah, I know. I was
Shit.
trying to get away from you too, bro. I wasn't like, I didn't know you had Gabe on, bro. If you told me Gabe was gonna be on, I'd see him
For real, man.
more than what I have to all the time, bro. Like, I didn't know Gabe was gonna be on. Dang it. No, it's fine.
Nah, what's cracking, love? What's cracking, man? You ready for a
Cracking,
smoke
bro.
out later? What? You ready for a
Yes,
smoke
sir.
out
I'm
later?
ready, bro. I'm about to, bro. I wanted to come show Rafa some love real quick, bro. You know
Sure,
what I
hell
mean?
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, so shout out
Yeah,
everybody
that's
that's here, man.
And of
Yeah,
course, after
I'm
that, I will
excited
show
for 420. I'm ready. I want to smoke. I'm ready to go.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
we're just ready to go. And after that, I was showing up for the press conference and Antonio Pierce. What he said about it, they can play with much aggressive. We can play more intense. So that's the mentality that we're looking for Las Vegas Raiders because we had enough with the less conservative plays by Josh McDaniels and Antonio Pierce got this energy, that vibe that no one coach that has doing for anything for years because he got the mentality that we needed for because he knows about football with blood, sweat, and tears. And like I said, it New York Giants versus Las Vegas Raiders, it just made a statement. So the same question that I was doing for Raider Gabe, but was it about the thoughts that Antonio Pierce became like a leader of men after Josh McDaniels kick out, and right now it feels like a brand new vibe for Las Vegas Raiders to play much aggression, much intensity. I mean, give me your thoughts there, Low.
Everything you said right there, Rafa. I mean, you pretty much nailed everything, bro. Like Antonio is basically night and day when it comes down to McDaniels and the last regime and stuff like that. It's different. It feels like home. It feels like home. Like, you go to a hotel, you go whatever or not, it's nice and fancy, bells and whistles, but if you look behind all the other stuff, it's all messed up or whatever or not. This just feels like home. It feels comfortable. It feels like some guy that I know that I grew up with. You know what I mean? Kind of like Basaccia was. He kind of has that kind of vibe, like an everyman, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what he is. Like I swear to God, I've met like a couple Antonios. You know what I'm saying? A couple Pierces too. Like just being out and about. You know what I mean? And that's what I like. And I think he's gonna let the player. He's gonna lead these men into letting them. He's gonna lead the men into letting them create their own way, and that's one good thing.
Tongue twister, huh?
Yeah, a little tongue twister. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm trying to go with it.
I got what you said.
Yeah, that's exactly because we what we need it for because right now is the perfect opportunity. So everybody just say that about because they're looking for a head coach. But in my point right now, I will offer to Antonio Pierce to stay one more season with the Raiders. And everybody thought they're gonna looking for like a head coach of, for example, G. Harrenbud or Deion Sanders. But I just looking at the news that I don't think that Deion Sanders is getting ready to coach of an NFL team. But we need it for because Antonio Pierce got that energy, got that aura, got that mojo getting ready for the Raiders. I mean, he's getting ready. And I will say
Rafa,
this.
I will tell you though, Rafa, it is one game though. We do have to be cautious.
Yeah.
We do have to be very cautious with crowning him after one game. You know what I mean? It's an awesome first start. First damn sure. You know what I mean? I can't take nothing away from that first win. You know what I mean? That was awesome. You know what I mean? I felt great to be a fucking Raider fan on Sunday, man. You know, that shit was that was a good thing to be a Raider fan on Sunday. You know what I mean? It was. I'm sorry for, it's like too much cousin, but it's just, um, I just feel like what I mean with him. Obviously, there was that added energy last week and stuff like that. But there's gonna be a lot of guys, that are gonna be, gonna kind of become, candidates for this job. So we kind of have to, evaluate it as we go. And I just think the biggest thing right now is getting the right guy to advise, Mark Davis. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of been on his, resume that, like, I wouldn't put it too much, the Gruden thing on him, because I think Gruden was headed in the right direction, but it's just, this last hire, it looks like, got people were trying to, sway him away from it. You know what I mean? It's just, I think he needs some advice, dog. And I think the best advice is in house with the players. You know what I mean? Get their suggestions and shit like that. You know what I mean? But and I think AP will have a big chance at that, because a lot of these guys respect him anyway. So I just think that it's a long way to go, but it's an awesome start for sure, man. But I just think it's just too soon to crown him yet. But it's a very good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, I just wanted to tell, because right now there's a lot of options to make a choice, because right now he got the energy, he got the aura, and I agree with the say it. So right now, let's gonna move on to the next topic. And there's one player that we just look at, we just keep an eyes on that player, which is Nesta Jade Silvera. Now, at the beginning of the season, he just became like a weak spot as a defensive tackle, and it's still like 9 weeks into the campaign, but is looking for someone to step up for the position as a tree technique, and that player could be like during the half of the season. And he finally got playing some of the past weekend, 16 defensive test snaps against New York with a total number of reps. Because we just have it like we just have it to share the screen right now, because we have to pay attention right now, because this is gonna be like a really excited. So let's check him out for this one. This is the number 99. Let's see what I got over the game. I mean, that was looking impressive.
That is.
Yeah. He did get double teamed. So
Yep. I mean, there's
It's
still
for
like
him
a
to
few
even get double
errors.
team. Yeah, no, for sure. I just think for him to even get double team, to know that, like, it's just that must have meant, and plays earlier or something like that. That play, sometimes that play just calls for the double team on the nose guard, but it's just the thing with him is, like, I like his confidence, man. I even like even after the game, on one of his, I think it's his Instagram live or something like that. He was on there, reportedly saying that, he don't know why this, the last regime didn't use him anytime sooner. You know what I mean? He said it a little bit in different words, but you know what I mean? He's just didn't know why, they weren't
Well, I
using
mean,
him
he did
anytime
get
sooner.
when he did get the start, Gabe. Remember, he got the start, and what, 5-6 plays in, he got hurt. Half the.
I think he's alluding, though. I think with that, though, I think he's alluding that it was probably a minor thing, and then they send it back down, and they didn't want to bring it back up.
Back above, yeah.
Because, like, I mean, last week, I mean, for just to be able just to say that, you know what I mean? Because they used it pretty early. It's just that, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's that or you know what I mean? It was just that they went away from him pretty soon,
Mhm.
and we're trying to go to the veterans. I don't know what McDaniel was kind of doing, but you do see a lot of little intricate moves, like, that they're making during the week. Hopefully this Nesta J, bringing him up into the rotation, pays off, because I think I see a lot of. I think Nesta Jade could be. He's a big body. That's one thing, pause. But he's a big body. But I just think he could be one of those guys that can help us out maybe in the run game, dog. So because he's aggressive, and I think he could get into the backfield. You know what I mean, and disrupt some plays back there. So hopefully it pays off, man. But I believe in Nesta Jade for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And there's another play that we just call him, because right now I just taking a look at a field study about how Nesta Chase Berry became a powerful weapon for Las Vegas Raiders. So let's see what I got over here. All right. So this is the number 99 right there. All right. And let's see what I got.
Another
I
double
mean,
team.
yep. And he does like a few areas to improvement as well, because I think we didn't take it to stand out for the stat sheet of just one total tackle. I mean, he encouraged it about the build and moving forward. I mean, Nesta Chitsibara became like a powerful force for Las Vegas Raiders, even though that the old regime cannot use it. So they have the new regime right now with Antonio Pierce. They finally can use it as a go for the defensive tackle, because that's one of the toughest positions at the NFL. So give it a thoughts about how Nesta Chitsibara can improve all these areas and how could it be like a powerful weapon for Las Vegas Raiders, starting out with Dirty Low and then Raider Gave.
I think it's just going to take time. He has to get acclimated to football. I mean, well, NFL football. He is behind Butler. He got a couple people in front of him. Butler. Who else is it? Johnson? I can't think
Jenkins.
Jenkins. My bad.
Nichols,
Jenkins. Yeah.
Nichols.
Jenkins. Is another guy. But then you got to remember, like I was telling with Gabe, he did get hurt, and then after him getting hurt, trying to get back, into good graces, whatever, whatnot. Yeah. But one thing that he is going to get is a shot. I think with these guys, they're going to give him a shot to actually do something. So, I mean, I think same thing. Like if you look at it like with Tyree Wilson, yes, he was the number 1 draft pick. Yes, he was supposed to come in and do this, but he's supposed to have, Chandler Jones kind of guiding him along. You know what I mean? Plus, he was supposed to be implemented slowly into the defense. So you figure that. Him not there, and then him still not fully injured, fully healthy from his injury, and then coming in, he's getting better per game. So, Nesta, it's his first year, so you know what I mean. He's gonna get it. He's showing some improvement. The only thing I don't like about that last play is that like the double team, he didn't go inside; they pushed him outside. He needs to take a little bit more control of that and see where the ball carrier is at. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I think for him, it's just gonna take snaps. He needs more snaps, and
for sure
he's going to get more time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy.
That's the only way you get better. That's the only way you get better. You know what I mean? It's snaps. You know what I mean? And reps, and against other NFL bodies. You know what I mean? Because it's the only way you're going to get better, bro. And you start winning matchups. You start, and I think Nesta Jade has that attitude. You know what I mean? He has that Raider attitude type player which. I think that's why Antonio Pierce and he's kind of like he's that's why he's kind of fitting into the plans of this new regime, because he kind of has that attitude of a Raider. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's not that easier to get lateral on this point, because I know that Nesta Chitsibara, he kind of like a couple negatives in this way, but he can end with a high note. But I think that guy right there, I mean, it's not that easier to come to the snap cone jumps, that it goes for the hardest gap shoot. But he did with his job. He controlled the gap, and then he runs for the left lane. I mean, this is like absolutely correct right now, because it would be like to the point if not as rough at it going right now, because there's like a great motor for the Raiders. And I mean, when it got double, like at a 300-pound, making it to get a good angle to cut out for the running back. I mean, that's what they give it the contest about how Nesta Chitsibara became like a powerful weapon to get it and put it in against for the New York Giants. And this kind of like this took us like a very different, because for another example, because Josh Jacobs became superior after Saquon Barkley, and everybody thought that Saquon Barkley is getting like destroying with Josh Jacobs, but look how Josh Jacobs had been proven, because he has now 2 touchdowns, and then he really understood it about the impulse, the speed, and of course the production when it comes to Josh Jacobs. And everybody thought that he's gonna be weak, but his powerful side, the speed of Josh Jacobs is undeniable. And I'm very glad that it was powerful for running out of the game right now, and they're still looking for running off of the game for the next games.
Yeah, it's gonna take time, brother, for him to develop and stuff. I do have a question for you. Go ahead.
Sure. Go ahead. I just think, for sure. Like I agree. It's gonna just take some time. That's all.
Yeah.
But the good thing is we have some guys in front of him.
I do got a question for you, Rafa. So talking about Nesta, and he was on the practice squad and stuff like that. How do you feel about Coach Pierce letting all the players on the field, on the sideline during the game, because McDaniels didn't let all the practice squad players,
I think that's something
participate in
new,
game
no?
day. Yeah.
I
Huh?
think that's even something new, like for any franchise,
Yeah,
though. Like
many
nobody
franchises,
does that
yeah.
shit, dog, because that's something everybody. I think, shit, that'd be cool if everybody fucking would do that now. You know what I mean? To take a note, you know what I mean? And because they could turn back and see, like, that's where it started. You know what I mean? Antonio Pierce might have started something, you know?
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
thinking about
exactly.
it, Rafa.
Yeah, but I think this is gonna be like a interesting question because before that he didn't get used to that to defensive tackle. But what we saw now for the Antonio Pierce, really because he brought that energy to the say we need something like a he's a very dangerous position to be like a defensive tackle. So he can block to defend and everything. He knows it about the speed. And when it comes to Antonio Pierce getting used to it about for Nesta J. Rivera, I mean it's getting really impressive because he understands about for the mentality that no one coach does. I mean, whether it comes to like the position for defensive tackle, it means that they get more aggressive. And that's what it comes to Nate Chase Rivera because he understands about the mentality, the blocking. I mean, he's really intense and people they know about it is got a like weak spot. But in reality, we just seen like a powerful weapon for Las Vegas Raiders. And this is how they get used to it for. Because after the regime for Josh McDaniels, he didn't even know how to get used to the idea. But with Antonio Pierce, he got the right control to get it used for Nesta Chase Rivera as a defensive tackle. I mean, it's powerful. It means powerful. They get to run it out for the game, block, tackle him. They're going to have a mentality.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. I think he has a firm grip on what he wants, but like Gabe said, it's only one game. It's only one game. We still got a couple more games. We gotta enjoy the win. You know what I mean? Never gonna not enjoy it, but we gotta enjoy the whole new look, the new feel of the Raiders. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's how do you feel about Antonio Pierce?
Feels like a brand new era for me because it feels like a fresh new air. Because before that was in 2022, we're just looking at, oh my God, this is gonna be like the Patriot way. But what I just love for the firing of Josh McDaniels and they stick with us, like finally we listened to our prayers, and right now we had a coach, which is a literal man who can really use the defense and the offense to put it up for another level. Putting up to another level, and it became like more aggressive. And what I just saw for the press conference and how do the players get more confidence in the locker room and in the optical right now. I mean, this is gonna happen like for months because everybody thought this is gonna be like a really over, but right now the Patriot way, the experiment, it's not working at all because there's always had to do something with that experiment, and with the experiment between Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh McDaniels, and Dave Ziegler isn't working at all. But we got for Antonio Pierce and Aidan O'Connell, it seems that they had the perfect chemistry because they're looking like this is like the missing piece that we had go for it. And I mean, this is something that I was looking for decades. And we just seeing like it is really over because we got a tank for a quarterback, but it's not really true because we're not tanking for a quarterback. We're not giving like the opportunity for the Patriot way. We're just getting back to the roots, like the Oakland, California, since the beginning. And I think this is gonna be like the right choice to make it happen. The right choice to make it happen at this level. And I think for the confidence of the locker room with Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, and Josh Jacobs, you can feel the energy, the big energy that it comes for it. And whether it comes to play aggressive, and whether it comes to play with blood, sweat, and tears. And right now, let's see for the comments right now that they say Snoop, if not, to say, let's have the question right now. Capitán, what do you think about for the new linebackers, Reed and Smith? I mean, I just checking it off for the news right
I don't
now.
know who Reed is.
Malik Reed, he started. He played a little bit. You know what I mean. Towards the end of the game last week, he played more of like the end type of position. You know what I mean, the outside linebacker position. But he was needed. You know what I mean. Jalen Smith, I think, with another week, is going to improve. Get the defense a little bit down a little bit more. So I think Jalen Smith is going to be an added body that we actually need right now, just in case Divine is not able to go again. So hopefully Divine is, but I think those two guys just are good depth, man. Good depth for our linebackers because you know what I mean. When healthy, I think our linebackers have been a good bright spot to our defense, but you know what I mean. Recently, with the injuries that we kind of suffered to that position, I think that those two signings were pretty good, man. Especially like having the ability to bring up, like the likes of Amari Burney and Curtis Bolton as well. So yeah, just added depth. You know what I mean? That's cool. I just like what they did there. You know what I mean? Just didn't ignore the linebacker position when we got thin. You know what I mean?
I mean, the depth of the linebacker is getting like really exciting because not only we got Jalen Smith going up already, because we have Robert Spillane, which he had like this is like the piece that we needed for. And for that reason, for Jalen Smith, because he was a former Cowboy and he was a former Saint, that I mean, that he knows the understanding about for the position of linebacker. I mean,
he played for the Giants too. He played for the Giants for Patrick Graham.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's why I knew it was a fit too. I was kind of happy about that.
Yeah,
Jalen Smith, he actually, for him coming in, he got 2 tackles.
I mean, we had the 2 tackles right now. I mean, this is like the direct community that are truly hybrid that it had, because he has athleticism, speed, physical makeup to play any linebackers, but in 3-4 or 4-3, Smith has very productive as a we slayer for the middle of the Notre Dame defense. And he would, because that land outfield, so they drop with the tension for the 3-4 team, looking for a transition to come for the rush linebacker with used to core skills. So he can sink and hips about the change direction of the playmaking radius, and he was able to make like a transition to scrape there to sprint seamlessly. And there's another thing. He has a turbo boost to running back, to race running backs at the corner. And he tries to meet upcoming blocks with physical punch and desire arm extension to stay clean. And there's another thing. He's very talented in main coverage, and playing speed is a light for that position. So I mean, this is gonna be like the pros of Jalen Smith could happen in that depth at linebacker. But I mean, this is like a great choice because I mean, he has the tools to become an excellent blazer. And of course, there is another question that they say, what's up with the Peters knee injury? I mean, did that really happen? Because before that, because Marcus Peters, it became like everything could happen like this one. But I mean, Marcus Peters had like an ups and downs. But I think that Marcus Peters had to go for the distance.
But also, I think Antonio Pierce was asked that question in the presser, and he said that on Sunday, if the game was even close, Peters would have still been in there. So I don't think it's too serious. So by him saying that, so like, but we do have to I think monitor that throughout the week. But I think with him saying that, I think it's just it makes it kind of less likely for him to miss this game or anything like that, just because that were his words. He said that if the game was in any reach, in hands reach, then he would have still been in the game.
Yeah, that's
exactly. It's his knee, so it's probably going to be his knee from that he got an ACL tear or something. That was one of the knees that he had messed up. So, but yeah, so that's it right now. He just didn't
have like a bruise on it or something like that.
Yeah,
and they were up by too much, and they there was no risk of putting him back in. You know what I mean? And there's no risk of putting him in there. For what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So Jalen, I'm gonna say this real quick, Rafa, and then I gotta take off, brother. I just want to come show you some love real quick. You know what I mean? I gotta go take care of some stuff. About Jalen Smith, right? Jalen Smith, he played 5 years for Dallas, and in the 5th year they traded him to Green Bay. He went to New York Giants for 2 years. And the New York Giants, so in 2021, he went to 3 different teams. He played a total of 10 games. And then he went to the Giants and played 13, and nobody picked him up. So he was on a practice squad and stuff like that, but he put up 46 tackles. You know what I mean? 88 combined. He did some shit. So he has a total of 88, you know what I mean? And he has a sack, only 1 tackle for loss, and yeah, that's about it. Forced fumble. So, I mean, he's a good player, bro. So, like, I'm kind of happy that we got him. Better late than never, I guess you would say. But you can see this guy kind of be more effective. And then if Diablo comes back, or whenever he comes back, he'll be a good combination with him. So the linebackers, I think they're getting a little bit better. And trust me, you don't.
It's gonna be.
Hey, you don't want to be a linebacker when your linebacker's head coach. Your linebacker's coach just became head coach, and you're letting them down, bro. You don't want that.
For real, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, Rafael, shit. Thank you, man, for having me on the show, bro. I'm sorry, I got to do some running around and stuff, just the timing stuff. But thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Gabe, we're going live later, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right, Rafael. Gabe, you guys have everybody in the chat. Holly, I've seen everybody in there, man. Shout out to everybody, man. You guys have a good night. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Later.
For sure.
All right. Have a good night. And that was Dirty Load. And of course, we're just happy for the final topic right now because we had to move to the Kids to the Big Tree against the New York Jets on Sunday Night Football. So I just wanted to tell you about because the first one we had to get after Zach Wilson. It's not gonna be It's not gonna be Aaron Rodgers. It's gonna be Zach Wilson because it's better.
Well, I heard a report today. They might even go with Trevor Siemian because that's they were asked. I think Robert Saleh was asked a question on a radio show in New York today about why do they still keep going with Zach Wilson if he just can't get it done. And Robert Saleh was kind of like, I really have to revise that question, and I had to really look to see if who's going to give us the best chance winning, going forward. So I still think that's up in the air. It might not even be Zach Wilson. It might be Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, because they had struggled with the offense with Zach Wilson at the quarterback because, I mean, he has yet to prove and succeed at the NFL level. But it just seemed that Las Vegas just sacked New York Giants quarterbacks 8 times on Sunday, including 3 from S. Crosby. And that will continue to make us run for the possible Defensive Player of the Year because, to be honest, I see like a strong contender. Max Crosby is going to be like the Defensive Player of the Year. And if the Raiders get more pressure against a bad Jets offensive line at this one, it could be like another long night for the caller for Zach Wilson. I mean, that could happen. That could happen.
Yeah, I think another key too would be like stopping the run because that's what I think where they kind of their bread and butter. That because Breece Hall is pretty good. Dalvin Cook. So I think they're going to try to go run heavy because I think that's one of our weakness on defense and one of their strength on offense. So I think they'll try to attack it there, but I think with the likes of the way that we played last week and with the energy, I think that's a key. We do got to keep that in check. We got to keep the running game in check for that, for sure. We got to get at that's a big thing because we got to try to make their quarterback beat us. We got to try to make their quarterback like whoever it is, Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian, whoever the quarterback is, we need to make him beat us and try to keep in check the run game as much as we can.
Yeah, that's exactly because we are going against a tough Jets defense, which is one of the best of the NFL. And for us, we just need to have the same formula, especially early on, because we had Josh Jacobs as one of the best running backs in the game. But when it comes to powerful downhill rushing style, it opens up for everything about the offense. I mean, if he can run for the game early enough on Sunday, you can expect like a relaxed Aidan O Connell being able to what he wants of the passing game downfield because the mission for the quarterback, it's feed off for the wide receiver, the running back. I mean, he looked great at the second start, winning for the first time, and he had to know how well Jacobs was to run the ball, and the offense it dominated for the outset. Well, the Jets are getting much better than the Giants to go for the long for the defensive line, and they cannot afford to go away to that game plan.
Yeah, for sure. I think that for sure, man. I think more of what we did last week is kind of like the recipe to win, bro. Like we have to, for sure we have to take care of the ball, no turnovers. That was a big, key to last week's big victory. I think that the a key to the blowout, especially not getting big penalties that hurt us. You know what I mean? And then obviously getting the run game going. You know what I mean? I think all those threes are going to be the key to this victory too, because and the defense getting after it. You know what I mean? Putting pressure on the quarterback, putting pressure on the run game, and just any way possible, and getting the takeaways. You know what I mean? Getting the turnovers and not turning the ball over is going to win a lot of games. So I think those are some big keys to last week that I think we could, kind of implicate in this week's game and have more of the same. You know what I mean? Have a little bit of deja vu against both New York teams. Beat both New York teams' asses in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Let them not let one of them come in here and get a win in Las Vegas. Let's send them both home with the L.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And also, I just figured it out because there's another key to make it right. Because after
sure.
the game between New York Giants versus Las Vegas Raiders, they had a matchup between Josh Jacobs versus Saquon Barkley. Right now, it is Devontae Adams versus Sauce Gardner. I mean, this is gonna be like a battle to come to eye to eye. I mean, last year says Gardner had the best rookie season for cornerback. He led the league for the impressive 20 defensives, and he earned like a 90 coverage grade. I mean, he only picked up a fat pass breakouts and he's allowed for a competition. But I mean, at the other side, the Devontae Adams is one of these league's best as well. And also having a down year, so they could compare for the last season. But he's still efficient to the Bukito Captain. But I mean, this matchup it could be like it's against each other as one of the biggest together one because Garnett is almost exclusively placed as a boundary corner at the defense left, so the offense can move Devontae Adams around if he's struggling to win the matchup, but also the corner has 6 missed tackles, which it might be like the area the way I can really explore for those players.
I think that the most important thing is getting the run game going, so that way we could kind of loosen up on the outside, the coverage on the outside and stuff like that. So that way, Devontae could start winning some of those matchups, because it's gonna be kind of hard, because I think that's one thing. I think Sauce Gardner is good at reading the quarterback. So having a rookie quarterback back there, which I think he is smart, and I think he's smart enough to make some good plays, which he can't shy away from. If he has one-on-one coverage, I don't care who it is out there, if it's Sauce Gardner or not. You know what I mean? If it's Devontae against him one-on-one, you got to give Devontae a chance. You know what I mean? You got to have confidence in that you can make that throw. But as far as I think to make it easy, I think it's more of the same of last week. Try to get Jacobs going, so that way it could be easier matchups on the outside. Have them guessing. You know what I mean? So that way you could kind of get the ball, a little easier to 17. You know what I mean? So that way Adams could have a big game. You know what I mean? I think Adams could. No matter who's taking him, I think there's no one guy who could guard him anyway. So if you do see him out there one-on-one, regardless if it is Sauce Gardner, you got to give him a chance.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, I just wanted to tell it about for this one now. I mean, Snooper nothing to say. Offense need to have a dominate game against the Jets defense. I mean, I agree about that. I really agree, because it all depends, because we have to moving on. And because we just dominated against the Giants in all the facets of the game, because the defense had to step up for everything for the big way, especially when it comes to Sunday night. They need to come out to play with the kind of same passion against the Jets,
Sure.
because they had to make some noise at the bye week, because it all started playing with the same brand of fire up football, what they show about for the week number 10, because After we just win against New York Giants, who make a statement, the next one is gonna be like another statement. Whenever it comes to locking up for defense and the offense.
For sure. For sure.
Mhm.
I totally agree with that, man. Like I just we have to just be we have to come out with that energy because I think that's one of the biggest reasons why last week was so successful. You know what I mean? That type of energy is like, it just travels through everybody. You know what I mean? Once when you have one guy like that, and then you start playing good. You know what I mean? You see what happens, bro. You get 8 sacks, you get 2 interceptions, you get what I mean, turnovers on downs and stuff like that. And I think you get everybody playing free. You know what I mean? So I think that's you know what I mean, and it's good that we're at home again. You know what I mean? I think being at home, the whole week, and having them time to call to play. And I think they're just gonna the I don't think the energy is gonna die down in this game, bro. I think because it's another primetime game, and they're gonna show everybody that it's for real. You know what I mean? They're gonna show that there wasn't just a one game. You know what I mean? Little fluke. It's for real, bro. Like, you know what I mean? This is a new team with a new attitude, and I think that energy you're gonna that you kind of are talking about is like I think you're gonna see that on Sunday for sure. Sunday night,
Yeah,
baby,
that's it.
under the light.
Sunday night, everything could happen on this one. So I just wanted to say thank you, Raider Gabe. Thank you, 30 Low, for joining us in this special episode of Civil and Black Experience.
Hey,
And I know
uh,
Raider Gabe, 30 Low had a show tonight at 10:20 p.m. at Smoke Hour because right now it is time to make this happen for the news of the Raiders. Everything happens. So I just wanted to make a shout out to D Menace, Snoop Hernandez, also Holly Tanner. I see in the comments. Anthony Strada. Also, thank you. Much love for the chat right now. So let's
sure,
start
man.
and us up. What can you show about for the social media so the people can follow you on the social media? And of course, your show is gonna be on tonight with Dirty Law and the coach
Sure.
Gray talking about for the Raiders.
Yes, sir, man. Well, yeah, you can catch me with on my channel at Raider Game 420. You know what I mean? On Wednesdays. You know what I mean? We and probably coming up. We're probably gonna add a show. You know what I mean, here on my channel too as well. So where you can find me either on Raider Gate 420 for sure. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have a show tonight at 7:20 Pacific, 10:20 Eastern. You know what I mean? You can catch me there, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays you can catch me on Raider Nation Live. You catch me there tonight as well too. I mean, we're gonna be you're gonna be multi streaming on both channels. So either or channel is good, man. But yeah, for sure, man. Just keep a lookout for that, and just subscribe. Put a like, put a comment. You know what I mean? So we could keep pumping out that content, man. So we could what I mean, just let the channel grow for sure, man. And just thanks Rafa for having me on, man. It was a pleasure being on. And yeah, man, it's cool. You know what I mean? And anytime you need me, just hit me up, and for sure, man, we could talk some ball for sure.
Exactly. And of course, it's been like in another episode of Single and Black Experience. My name is Rafael Chacín, no es el Capitán Rafucho. Thank you, Raider Gabe and Dirty Love for the Raider Nation Live to hanging us to giving information about for all things that about for the Raiders. And like explained for the t-shirt, it states Black Sunday Nation. So get ready for the Sunday night football between Las Vegas Raiders versus New York Jets. And of it's been like a great night. So have a great night, folks. Have a great Wednesday. And of course, it's been like another episode of Sable and Black Experience. All things about the Raiders. No drama, no bullshit, just Raiders, baby. So
Baby, Raiders.
Raiders. Have a good one and peace out. So there you go, folks. Have a good one. And I see you in the comments right now, Leo, Snoop. Thank you very much for the much love. And of course, you gotta stay tuned for more details about what's gonna happen for my channel. So thank you very much and salute to you, buddy. There you go, folks. Raider Nation for life, motherfuckers.